Welcome back.
Welcome back to 2okfriends.
Yeah, I kind of hit that on the way
We're just
by.
moving. We're just moving.
Oh. Nate earned his pay for the week. Good job, Nate. I'm out. Everybody have a good week?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did look at the forecast for next week. Looks like the weather's starting to
Forecast for next
turn
week.
in our favor a little bit.
A little bit.
Pretty much mid 50s and 60s the whole week.
Yep.
I just hope the rain's done.
And we'll be out in the week after that. Mid 80s.
Yeah, you'll be in Vegas.
Gonna be hot out now.
You guys excited?
Yeah, hell yeah. Looking forward to it. The Raw after WrestleMania should be a good one.
Yeah. It just sucks that you guys couldn't go to like all the pre-shit like that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like the Undertaker was doing the podcast out there, which would have been cool to go to.
It just sucks.
The stay, even if you weren't going to WrestleMania, the stay alone was costing as much as WrestleMania tickets.
Oh yeah, so it's like you got to be somewhat balling to go and do anything, but it just sucks because that would have been a cool experience of its own. Because the downside, you guys go on Monday. Like the only downside I can see is everyone's probably ready to get out of there. So you might see a couple out that night.
I mean, it depends. I think we'll see more than what people think.
I forgot what.
It'll probably be more like legends and stuff that Or
hang
like
out.
the older wrestlers will be out walking around than the newer ones.
I forget what hotel they said that like they're doing everything at. Like one of the newer
I
ones.
think
I'm
it's
sure.
in Resorts World.
Okay.
I think.
Was more private a little bit.
Yeah, which I think that's where over where the Raiders hotel and stuff is. I think
That makes
that's where
sense.
they're doing it.
That makes sense.
Which would have been cool to go to, but I mean, all that stuff. Like, I'm sure you probably had to pay to go to the Undertaker's podcast.
Oh, I'm sure.
To go to the WrestleMania like fan thing they have, that costs money to get in. And it wasn't cheap just to do that.
Right.
I don't know how these people can get WrestleMania tickets and go to all that.
Right, and I'm sure you'll see just like when it was in Philly. Was it in Philly last year?
Mm-hmm.
I watched both days, and I saw some of the same people both days, like in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That just
You can buy the 2-pack tickets.
well, right, but I'm just saying, like, I know it's probably a little cheaper to stay in Philly than in Vegas, but
Probably.
still, like, just
Tickets aren't any cheaper. I'm sure.
right, right. So you're freaking looking at tickets, and you're looking at, and downside to Philly was it was all outside, and the only place that heat was blowing was above the ring.
I was watching the documentary earlier about how they had it in '93 at Caesar's Palace, and they had it outside. They pretty much set up like their own outside area arena.
Really?
Yeah, back I think it was in the parking lot.
Well, you know, one of the coolest things I remember seeing, it was WCW, one of the Bash at the Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They had it at like a resort, and they had a swimming pool around and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then one year they did a Sturgis motorcycle rally, which is completely different fan base, I'm sure, but that'd be cool to see, and then start doing stuff like that again.
Yeah.
But
Well, that they had to, when I was looking there was a guy that talking about how he did the seating charts.
mm-hmm.
He was like, it was like a puzzle to put together, and it was like the most expensive ticket was $250.
Really,
And then it went like $250, $150, $100. He's like, we made sure we had tickets for $25.
for the '93 one,
Yeah.
That's
Like,
crazy.
how awesome is that?
yeah,
They said they set it up. I think it held 16 plus thousand people. They're like, what we did not account for was everybody lining up before the show. They're like, there was thousands of people in like the pool area of Caesar's Palace.
I'm sure.
They're like, we did not account for that.
I heard that nightclub inside Raider Stadium, they're gonna have something going on like during.
Probably.
That'd be cool.
But that, to me, that's a waste of time because if you're in the nightclub, you just spent so much money to get in there, and you're in a nightclub and you're not going to be able to see shit.
Well, they're not gonna have like the actual nightclub going. It's gonna be like they're gonna have the TVs on. They're gonna be, you're gonna be able to watch it.
Oh, that you'd have to be.
Right.
Because if you are in that nightclub, you're not going to be able to see shit.
No. And I wonder if they sold any of the standing seats that they have for like the Raiders game. Like
I don't
if that
know.
was.
I don't know. I mean, I'd take that back. I guess you might be able to see a little bit, but I just can't see those being good seats.
I'm trying to think where their jumbotron is compared to that area.
I don't know if it's above it or across from it.
When we did the tour, I never really looked up when I was just kind of fascinated with everything that was in front
Yeah,
of me.
well, I mean, WWE put in their own. I mean, they'll have the one above the ring,
Right.
like always. And then if you're there, you might as well just watch on the big screens in the club because they got some big ass screens
Yeah.
in there. Might as well watch it in there. Still be cool just to be there for the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
In the club area, I bet there's probably some other people going to be in there too.
I'm sure like a couple wrestlers would probably pop in there and all that. That'd be
Raiders are
cool.
going to be out and about. Hopefully, maybe I can run into a couple of them.
I'm sure
Get
there's
some autographs while I'm out
I'm
there.
sure there's a couple seats that's gonna have a couple.
Let me
Raiders
see
players
Mad
in it.
Max out there walking around. Let me get an autograph, Max.
Hey, so far when they was in Philly, they had a couple of the
Yeah, oh yeah,
Eagles players in the ring.
yeah. I'm just talking about like right there because we're staying at New York, and it's right behind it.
Have you ever stayed there before?
No,
So this is gonna be something new for you guys.
gone there a lot. But
Right.
I've never stayed there, and you pretty much, from what I've heard, it's similar to the Allegiant walkway. Signs say Allegiant, but this is like right behind it.
Oh, okay.
So you'll like walk. I guess you go down the elevator and go outside, and then T-Mobile's like right there.
I don't think we went to New York when we was in Vegas. Did we?
Yeah, you had to walk through it.
Oh, okay. So that was the one that the last time we walked through before.
Like, because we were Luxor, and then it was Excalibur,
Right.
and then New York, New York.
Okay.
That's where they had the martinis, the chocolate martinis.
I thought that was Planet Hollywood.
No, that was New York, New York.
They have the little.
Because they have like a Hershey's thing.
Okay. I honestly thought that was
Mm-mm.
Planet Hollywood.
That was New York, New York.
Kia is going to start making a pickup truck.
Really?
It's going to be all electric, though.
I wonder how weird that's gonna look.
I don't know.
I feel like when companies try to make the first pickup truck, they don't turn out right.
Kind of like a Cybertruck, where they all
Yeah.
get recalled. I knew that was going to happen.
I remember when Nissan came out with their first couple pickup trucks, they didn't look right. And then Honda, when they tried to copy the Avalanche,
Yeah.
those didn't look right.
No. I still see those, though.
I mean,
Do they still make them?
I don't know. I wish they started making Avalanches again. I actually liked them.
Yeah. I mean, they were all right, but you still see those out, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People are driving them shits till the wheels fall
Mhm.
off.
I did. I mean,
But, I mean, I don't know. Why would you when your top selling trucks are selling like crazy?
true. Trucks are just so expensive.
Yeah, they're retarded.
Not a fan of how expensive they are. And that used to be the cheapest vehicle you could
I
buy back
am
in the day.
well aware.
But what can you do?
Absolutely nothing. So after I watched the documentary on the 93 WrestleMania, I watched the 93 WrestleMania.
Oh, did you?
Because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I watched it to see what it looked like, what everybody else would have seen.
When did or who was headlining that one?
I believe,
Hogan.
well, he was on it. It was Brett versus Yokozuna.
Oh, okay.
And Hogan came out and something happened and they said, he'll put the belt up against you because he won the belt from Brett. And then Yokozuna won it and then he fights Hogan and loses it.
Because Hogan was that guy.
Yeah, and he had just come back. And he came back and they were pissed because they didn't think he was going to be able to wrestle because he got in a Sea-Doo accident that they all thought Macho Man did. Because he was on an accident and he said he went under and he was trying to cover his face because he knew the Sea-Doo was coming. And like flipped over it. Well, his life jacket yanked him up and the Sea-Doo popped him right in his eye.
And Hogan?
Yes, and you could see him like his eyes all black. You couldn't see the stitches, but yeah, they were pissed. They were like, "He's not gonna be able to wrestle," but he did.
Yeah, I was watching something, and I don't know. It was someone's documentary, but it wasn't Hogan's. But they kept bringing up how like all of Hogan's contracts had weird stipulations where he basically made all the decisions.
Mhm.
And it's just like, man, you can't give a
And that's why
wrestler.
people started hating him because he
Yeah.
wasn't helping. He didn't want to
Yeah.
help put anybody over. He just wasn't that guy to do so. Which was the best thing when he wasn't there anymore. Because
Right.
then new people could shine. And that's why a lot of people were pissed during that because they're like, we thought we were heading toward a new regime of guys.
Hmm.
Like, I think Shawn Michaels was talking about it, like a new regime of guys, and then they give the belt to Hogan.
Sam
He's like,
said hi, friends.
Hello.
hello, Samantha.
The downside
from
to
wherever you are.
the downside to Shawn Michaels was that click that like it's either you was in or you were out.
Man, that's Triple
And-
H. Triple H was in that.
Well, this is even before Triple H, when it was him, Nash, Hall, and how they treated people. And
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hear some of the other guys' stories that like battled the click, like Bam Bam Bigelow. He tried to fight every one of them,
Yeah.
and other people that they didn't mess with, and like, why didn't you mess with them? You know, but like I did watch the documentary with Chris Candido.
PBR Cowboy Bar in Easton currently.
That's pretty much like they ruined that guy.
I don't know where that is.
It's in Columbus for sure.
She's in Columbus?
She's not leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh, they're staying the night in Columbus? Oh.
That's where they'll find out.
Well, now I do know where you are. I do know where that is. I don't know exactly, but I know it's in Columbus.
But
So you're watching us while you're at a PBR bar in Columbus? Tell them to put it on the big screen. Tell them to put us on the TVs. Get everybody up there watching. Going to the rodeo.
What we got coming up? We got the NBA playoffs coming up, draft coming up, NFL draft.
Get to watch that in the good old city of Las Vegas, Nevada.
WrestleMania's going to be coming on next weekend.
That's going to be a good one, too. For those who don't watch wrestling, I would still watch it. I think it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be
one of
good.
their better cards. If you don't watch wrestling, watch it. Because it's one of their better cards. But if you watch wrestling, it's probably going to be mediocre because I have a feeling they're burying a lot of people that deserve to be in the limelight.
Yes.
And I feel like they're going to get buried.
Jay should be headlining.
Jay should absolutely be headlining. John Cena and Cody Rhodes should not be headlining.
No.
And CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins should not be headlining.
No.
I'm just trying to support the podcast. My bad day.
No one said there was nothing wrong with it.
Didn't say it was a bad thing. Calm your titties.
Almost sound like you said, come on, you duties.
I said calm. So, but card-wise, it's a good card.
Yeah.
But fan-wise,
And
I don't care for the way they're doing it.
and I know most people won't talk about it, but they are destroying Io Sky.
They are. They ruined her because I feel like they gave her the belt and then said,
You have
you're
the belt,
not the one.
but you're really not holding
Yeah,
it. You're just holding it.
You're
for right
not
now.
the one. Which, why give her the belt?
Right.
You're not the one. Now, I will say, now that we're talking about burying him, I think the only way they save Gunther and Jay is if they're first.
Yeah. Like that's what pops
You will
off.
have everybody's attention,
Mm-hmm.
and if they can go on first, that saves that match.
So does Jay win this match
Yes, I think Jay wins.
by help or
No.
it's
Brittany said, howdy.
Howdy.
eight?
I'm not. I don't know. It depends because I don't think Kaiser's going to help Gunther.
But I'm talking about Jimmy, like, because he did mess up Jimmy pretty bad.
I don't know if.
Or did Jimmy just come out as a distraction?
Yeah, I mean, he may be a distraction. I don't think he's involved. And, I mean, he may come out and beat him up afterwards, or he just may not even be there.
Or I see him walking out and Kaiser walks out and they fight each other.
Because some of those things happen to where, like, I don't know, Jimmy might be hurt.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of pushing him into a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was. But he was, I think they had a couple ways they were going to push him toward. So he may have an injury and he's just not going to be there. I don't know.
And then they were pushing the storyline between Braun, or not Braun, but Kaiser, Penta, and that other guy. Used to be Butch.
Oh,
And then they just
Yeah.
Kaiser just kind of disappeared. But I did see,
Pete Dunne.
yeah, I did see where Charlotte called out Tiffany and Kaiser.
Yeah, went off script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't too happy with that.
No, they were not.
Because you wouldn't even know him.
But that's going to be a good one, though.
Yeah.
I
But-
think that's going to be a solid matchup.
Tiffany's struggling to be a face.
This will help because I think she wins. I don't think
think?
Charlotte wins. I think Tiffany retains. But I could be wrong because they do like to put the belt on Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the name.
But I
or
don't
what.
know if she's back
Back.
to where it's going to be like that. I'm personally hoping for a Brock return.
I don't know. Is he able to come back? Is he
I don't
still in hot water?
I think that would be cool if he did.
I do need to watch that Vince McMahon documentary. I have not watched
I haven't
that
watched
yet,
it either. I want to too.
but I've heard good things about it. Well, not like... I heard the documentary really explained a lot. Let's just say that. Not good outcomes of things, but...
But I would say Jay Gunther going on first saves that match and saves Jay from being buried.
Who else would you put on first? I don't see anybody else. Unless
there's really
they do
nobody
something
left.
dumb. Unless they do Rey Mysterio.
AJ Logan could go first on a night. The rest of them are filler matches.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like if it were me, I would put Gunther Jay first on one of the nights, and then I would put Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair first. Or even the Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair match first.
So who's headline Saturday?
I don't know.
They haven't said.
I haven't looked at.
Oh.
They might have said. I haven't looked at the match card for each day, but
Sunday's bigger than Saturday, right? In theory.
I have a feeling Sunday will be Cena Rhodes, and Saturday will be
the 3-way.
I could be wrong. I mean, if they were pushing that match so hardcore, then it was almost like Cena Rhodes got pushed.
Because Sunday's the
to the
bigger
side.
main event, right? Like in theory.
I mean, in theory, but they're both pretty solid main events.
Back in the day,
Well,
pay-per-views were on Sundays.
let me rephrase that. They're not solid main events. One of them is a solid main event, and it should have been Jay and Gunther. Cody, John Cena is not solid. Cody's going to carry that match all the way through, and Cena's probably going to win.
Because The Rock's going to interfere.
You guys heard it here first. I think John Cena wins.
Fair.
I hope not, because John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. But if you're not a wrestling fan, I'll say it again, worth the watch.
Good time to get back in.
I think it'll be it's a solid match card. I just don't agree that all of them belong on.
I got back in
WrestleMania.
there. I used to be a big fan growing up, and then I got back into it when the girls started watching it, and it was easy to pick up on it. The only thing I don't like in the last 5 years, I think when they get someone that's really good talent and they don't know what to do with them, and they just let them walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still have those 5 guys that they're like, oh, we'll just build a storyline with them, him, and you got people like Ricochet, all the talent in the world.
The problem with Ricochet was he was, in their eyes, WWE's big fan of big dudes.
Yes, and
He was a
not.
little dude, and I don't know. He was super talented. He could
You
have
know-
been IC champ for a
You
while.
know who would have been great opponent for him in his prime? Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah,
Because they're like, or Shelton Benjamin. Like, just in their primes against freaking Ricochet, that would have been one hell of a match.
absolutely. Ray in his prime with Ricochet would have been great.
They don't.
But he went to AEW. I don't know if you've been watching it. I haven't really watched it sitting down watching
I'll
it,
see
but I
little
watched
clips.
clips.
Yeah.
And from what I read and watch it, they're burying him there too.
Oh, they really?
Yeah, he's pretty much like mid-card again.
Mm.
But both these companies are so overloaded
Yeah.
that it's hard to decide who should go on. In my opinion, I think every belt should be up for grabs at WrestleMania.
Every pay-per-view.
There's no need for
Non-title
filler
match.
matches
Mhm.
because you have titles that aren't even being defended. Put the titles up.
I think
Build stories around every title working up to
I
it.
think did they ended up making last minute with the tag titles with the War Raiders and
The New Day? I don't know.
Because they lost Monday because they got disqualified, but they was kind of building something there. Uncle Howdy just disappeared. Like, that thing is just
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean,
You spent months building that up to nothing.
yeah, and I heard Aleister Black's coming back. Now, if Aleister Black can align with Karrion Kross, that's a solid way to bring Uncle Howdy back.
Yeah.
Because they're both kind of darker characters.
And they get
That-
followers. And,
Yeah, that's a solid, like,
Well, it pissed
your
me off with the
horror
Uncle.
matches together.
Thing pissed me off with the Uncle Howdy thing. They built that up right before Survivor Series, and you always do 8-man tag during the Survivor Series, and they just left them out.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing with Bray when Bray was there. He was wasted. He came back, reinvented himself, got hurt, comes back, wasted him. Come back into Fiend, had some pretty cool stuff going with Fiend, wasted him. And then he was getting ready to reinvent again. Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition, but
And the way they built Uncle
Still.
Howdy off the Fiend and what was his little kid show?
the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, like the way they built Uncle Howdy's crew off that
Mhm.
was genius,
Genius.
and you did nothing.
Did nothing with it. So I don't know. I mean, I hope they have some different surprises planned for WrestleMania. I don't foresee that. Just because I wouldn't be surprised if it was Randy Orton or Solo or whatever, but at the same time, why?
Right.
That's just that's a go to the bathroom match.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because Randy's so good. But we'll see. Should be a good one. We will report on that after WrestleMania.
We will.
We will not discuss it on the next podcast because it will still be happening.
Yeah, the Sunday match will be going on.
So we will not drop any spoilers.
Can we talk about Saturdays?
I guess if I watch it, we could. I don't know if I'll watch it or not.
Fair enough.
But I say we just wait and talk about it as a whole.
Falling.
I don't know if that's something anybody would really want to listen to, but we could break down night 1 and 2. Just because it won't take long. It's either it was a good match or it was a terrible match.
That's true.
That's basically how that goes.
Either they nailed it or they fucked it.
One thing I missed the most is they used to have elaborate entrances, which was awesome,
Uh-huh.
and they stopped doing that too.
Yeah.
It was just very disappointing in them.
Who was one of your favorite entrances?
Undertaker.
Like the original? Like when he was...
When he had the Druids, it was cool shit. He always had creative entrances when he was the Druids. Had the Druids.
I like Batista's when he started doing like the machine gun thing with the fireworks. That was cool. I think the only one now that really...
Bray had a good entrance.
I think only one that has a big entrance now is Jay.
And Cody.
Yeah. And maybe Seth.
I like Seth Rollins
Yeah.
too.
I like his, like, at first, it kind of got on my nerves. Everyone was singing and whatnot. But
He was smart because he paid attention to Shinsuke's music. They always sang Shinsuke's music. They always sang, like, Sami Zayn's music.
yeah.
And he's smart to change that to get him to sing his.
Oh, yeah.
That was very smart.
That's something new they started doing. I will say, did you watch the last Monday night?
Mm-hmm.
When Jay and Gunther was in the ring and Jay was talking? I wish people paid attention more because he kept telling everybody, like, stop.
Yeah.
And they just kept doing
Yeah,
it.
it kept going.
Because he's trying to have a moment.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you guys not seeing? Like, he's trying to have a moment. Like, sometimes less is more, guys.
Right.
Which we all like the yeet. We all like the what. The Stone Cold what and all that. But it's like, if they say chill, just shut up and listen.
Yeah. Absolutely. Trying to get a point across.
But I know you don't watch a lot of basketball, but who do you think, or who would you like for it to take it this year?
I know nobody probably wants to hear this, but the Lakers.
Yeah, well,
Only because
Luka. Yeah.
That's the only reason. If he was at the Mavs, I would want the Mavs to win.
Yeah, no, that's...
I want Luka to get one.
Well, so...
I wouldn't...
That bushwhacker.
Oh, the Bushwhackers had a good entrance, too.
Yeah.
When they would grab people's beers and drink them, that was a good entrance.
Who said bushwhackers?
My mom.
Oh. Nice.
They used to lick each other's armpit, or lick
The
lick
heads.
armpits and heads.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
I remember one of the Royal Rumbles. I don't know if it was Butch or Luke, but they'd walk like that. He went in the ring, got tossed over,
Yep.
he walked right back up the ramp like that. Obviously, I'm a Cavs fan. I'll be rooting for the Cavs. I'd be happy with the Cavs and Lakers.
I'm not gonna say I'm rooting, but I'd like to see Luka get a ring.
Yeah.
I wanted him to get one with Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were going to with Kyrie, and then
Injuries hurt them, and then this trade out of nowhere just...
But that's kind of how I've been, because I don't really have a team that I follow and or root for. But like, I wanted Giannis to get his.
Yeah.
I want Luka to get his.
I wanted Dirk to get his.
And if I had to pick somebody that's not Luka, I would pick probably Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a baller.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ja. I like Ja Morant too.
Ja just gotta quit trying to be a gangster.
I like it though.
He just got in trouble again for making a shot and doing this to somebody.
Yeah,
And it's
and then he had a grenade celebration.
And I'm like,
He was throwing a grenade.
just stop, man. Like,
But I would say Anthony Edwards would probably be
would you be mad if the Cavs won?
my second. No.
I like Donovan Mitchell. Like, I really
wouldn't
appreciate that
be
man's game.
Mad if the Cavs won. I wouldn't be mad if the Mavericks won. But because I mean, I'm not that invested.
Right,
But
right.
personally, I want Luka to get a ring.
Oh yeah.
It has nothing to do with Braun or Bronny.
Well, I'm not anti James,
I'm not either, but I'm pro Luka.
but if you like, Nate was never a fan of him, but since Luka went to the Lakers, he's watched more LA games, and he's got more appreciation of Braun because he's not as selfish as people think he is. Like, he has done more than probably any other player has tried to make Luka feel comfortable in LA.
I mean, Braun's easy to hate.
Oh yeah,
But that's why I like to listen to the interviews with like Shumpert
yeah.
and other players that have played with him, because he's like, Shump, he moves, take him with you. You do this, and you just stand back and you just watch everything he just said happen.
Yeah.
He's like, he just called out their whole thing and it happens. And he was like, and it works. He's like, the man is.
But he went out of his
super
way
smart.
to make Luka feel welcome in LA, and like his first game against Dallas when they was in LA, he said, "Look, we're gonna win this for freaking Luka. Like, he needs this. We're gonna do whatever we can, and we're gonna win this." And like his first game in LA, James went up to the booth and told everybody, "I want Luka to be announced last. You know, I want him to feel welcome and stuff." Like, not everybody does that.
I mean, he had a good video montage the last time he played Dallas.
Oh, in Dallas? That was the first
awesome.
time they played Dallas in Dallas.
That was awesome.
He cried and stuff, and
And then went off.
yeah, and I don't, well, that's his home court.
And
Like,
then went bananas.
that's his home court. Like,
He was staring at the bench, talking shit. I'm like, yo, Luka, get him. He was cooking.
I think he's underrated. What cracks me up about freaking Luka, if you watch him, he moves so slow. And nobody can stop him.
No,
But-
no,
and-
it just goes. It works.
And he's not running fast. Like,
Nope.
his moves are like, it's like they're in slow motion, and they're just like, how do you stop that? But no, I think I like freaking Luka because I really like Dirk too, and I'm glad he won one before he retired.
Oh, yeah, Dirk was a beast.
And he was one of them guys that moved really slow, but you couldn't stop.
Like Timmy D.
Yeah.
I like to listen to Kevin Garnett talk about Tim Duncan's trash talk. You ever seen that? He's like, one game I was giving it to him. He's like, I'm having a good game. I'm talking shit. I keep talking shit. He's like, Tim will never talk shit. He's like, he hits you with the, oh, good try. Or he's like, oh, almost. Like, oh, didn't get me. He was like, it was just subtle things. He was like, once I realized it didn't work, I stopped talking trash to him.
You know who's the best trash talker ever?
There's a lot of them that are good.
Larry Bird.
I mean, he had some good ones too.
I've watched a few documentaries, and then like some of the older black players was talking. Like, this is one, and he was like, "This man told you what he was going to do and shitted on you." He said, "Hey, I'm going to dribble left. I'm going to take a 12-foot shot, and it's going to be nothing but net, and you ain't going to stop it." He said he dribbled left, took the shot, swished it, and he came over to me and said, "It was 13. I was close enough." and it was a 13-foot shot, but it was just like the shit. Like, he said he would tell you exactly what he's going to do, and he basically told him, "You ain't going to stop me."
There's a lot of stories like that with Kobe and Michael too.
Yeah.
I think it was Garnett was talking about. He was talking shit to Mike. He was like, "I'm telling Glenn Rice, like, yeah, cook him. He was like, and then Glenn's like, chill out. He's like, no, yeah, like, we're on fire. We're killing him. He was like, and Mike looked over and he was like, okay. He's like, and then the next 8 minutes, I couldn't even explain to you what happened. He was like, come down, boom, three. He was like, we're on the bench. He's like, man, I didn't know. I'm like, my bad. He's like, I tried to tell you. He's like, and then Mike runs down the court like, damn, young fella, you done?
One of my favorite.
I didn't know.
One of my favorite stories was the '98 Dream Team when Michael and Magic got into it.
The best game that never aired.
The one when they did the scrimmage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The greatest
and
game that never aired.
Barkley kept telling Magic, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And Magic kept on going. And then he started talking shit to Bird and he said, your old white ass ain't going to do nothing. Started talking shit to Michael. And Michael looked at Bird and they just went at him.
Yeah, cooked them.
Yeah. Because it was like the younger guys versus
Right.
the vets. And Barkley was just like, let's do it. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love listening to those
Mhm.
podcasts. My favorite one to listen to is Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes.
Yes. They are hilarious.
Yes, they are.
'Cause-
Because they talk about stuff that you're not supposed to talk about.
And Matt Barnes used to talk so much shit to people.
Especially when you get white chocolate in there.
Yeah.
Jason Williams, because just hearing him talk's hilarious.
Well, he's so like under demeanor. He's just like, yeah, well, you know,
Yeah.
I was a decent player and all this. He's like, dude, you was cooking people.
Yeah.
Like,
Buddy. Like, and then Buddy was mad.
when he was talking about Pat Riley, when he was like,
Yeah.
you're hoping you shoot the ball. He goes, I had a wide open three. I passed it and I went and sat on the bench. The last basketball documentary I watched was the Pacers in Detroit when that big fight happened.
The
That
melee,
was
or the Malice in the Palace.
actually a pretty good documentary.
I've watched that one twice. The
Uh,
last one I actually watched was the Redeem Team.
which one's that about?
Dream Team, where I
Oh,
think Kobe got added last minute.
when the next one after they lost, like it was the next team after
Mhm.
that they lost it.
And he said, first play, Powell setting the screen, I'm running right through him. And they're all like, man, this man's crazy. Like, that's his teammate.
Right, that's your
He's not
teammate.
running through him.
And then Pau, and then it went to Pau Gasol, and he was like, "You ran right through me. He did not care."
Yeah, he said that told him, like, this is my brother,
Yeah,
but this is what I would do to win. And the other team on his teammates were like, man, we were like, what is he on? Like, that's crazy. He did that to his own teammate. Like, that's nuts.
yeah.
And Carmelo Anthony was like, I was coming home from the club, Kobe getting up, dressed, like, what you doing? I'm going to the weight room. Like, man, I'm not about to go to the weight room. I'm going to sleep. He's like, next thing you know, everybody's going to the weight room in the morning with Kobe.
Yep. I remember the stories of Shaq and Kobe when they was on the LA together. Kobe rode Shaq hard because he was out of shape, this and that, and he'd be like, "Why don't you give me the ball?" He goes, "Why don't you early at practice with me?" And blah blah this and
Yeah,
that.
he said that about all his teammates.
Yeah.
If you're not working like I'm working, why am I giving you the ball?
Not wrong. I mean,
Makes sense. Makes 100%.
that's what makes great leaders lead by example. And if they're going out of the way to do stuff, you should be following that. I mean, no matter what sport you're in, the end game is to win a championship.
Absolutely.
So it's like, why not do what you can,
Mm-hmm.
everything you can to win that championship?
Mm-hmm.
So,
They'd always be like, what is this man on?
it's hard, in my opinion. You can never say Jordan's the greatest player to ever play the game. LeBron's the greatest player to ever play the game. Will Chamberlain. I think it goes by eras because
It does go by eras. I know everybody wants to go by stats and all that, but
I don't think you can because like
no, you
this
definitely can.
this NBA is not what it was in the 90s.
Doesn't matter.
They
Numbers
fouled
don't
you.
lie.
No, and I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about like they played defense in the 90s. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can go by stats,
yeah,
but I mean,
Golden State changed
for that
basketball.
argument, you have to go by stats,
Right.
Just because if you're having that argument,
Now,
But-
can you go by positions a little bit?
yeah,
But like, what NBA player today would have survived the Detroit team, the New York team, just off of how, in a sense of just using the word violent,
which team or which players?
which players would still be top notch today in a harder NBA that was in the 90s.
I would say LeBron would have adapted because he had that.
My biggest one would
mentality
be
to
like
win.
Giannis.
LeBron would have adapted. Kobe still could have, or not Kobe, but Curry still could have played.
Luka.
Luka still could have played.
But-
And then if you, I mean, people eat that. Draymond would have loved it.
Oh,
That's
Draymond would
Draymond's
shine.
game.
That was Rasheed Wallace.
That's
Like,
Draymond's game right
Right.
there.
but it's like you look at. I think the NBA changed when Golden State was like, "We're gonna live and die by a 3," and then everyone's like,
Kyrie
"I'm gonna shoot the 3."
Kyrie would have, because his handles were nuts.
Oh,
he'd
he's
have
the
been
next.
cooking.
He was Iverson. Like,
Yeah, he would have been cooking. So I think a lot of the big players still could have played, but why they don't have to?
which
Like,
I
hey,
get.
if you can flop and get the foul, flop and get the foul.
Right.
Why not? They're gonna call it.
Now, you think LeBron would have been a baby like he is now, like when he doesn't get a foul call, or
Maybe, but he would have learned the hard way because they would have been like, "Oh, you wanted that foul? Well,
I mean,
we'll give you one.
you had enforcers.
Like we're
back
gonna
then.
give you one. Like you think Rodman would have locked him up, and he would have had no choice but to adapt
Now I look at players in
and
the 90s.
meta world peace,
I look at players in the
which
90s.
I think he played against him.
Who?
Meta
Who did?
LeBron.
Yeah, but it was like end of his career where he wasn't
Yeah.
what he was more chill, kind
And
of just.
I think because Braun is strong, so
Hmm?
he would have taken them fouls, and I think he would have adapted well.
If you look at LeBron's first 3 years, he played a tougher game until
But-
everything changed, where the flop was initiated
right,
to where. But I
I
look
didn't
at
have to.
but I look at 90s players and say how many more would have shined now.
All of them.
Like
All of them.
could you
Actually, I
imagine-
take that back. Not all of them. Your Bill Lambiers wouldn't have been what they are.
No.
Your big man probably wasn't what it was going to be.
See, would you rather take a 3-point big man or like a Shaq right now? If you had like,
Right now in the NBA, you give me a like if was building a team from players from the '90s and now. I mean, there's still so many good point guards that would be awesome right now.
I'm talking about like big man, like
But big man, all of them.
like Shaq would shine in this.
Shaq,
Hakeem,
Akeem,
Ewing,
Alonzo Mourning,
Mutombo.
Ewing, Mutombo. They would have eaten.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping Edie with the Memphis, they figure out how to use him because he's like the last center left
Mhm.
in basketball right now because everyone's like, I'm going to shoot 3. I'm going to shoot 3. Like, the Mavs have Gafford, but like everyone's like, I can shoot 3 too. And it's like,
All the big stars from the '90s would still ball out.
but there's really no power forwards anymore. I feel like the power forward position has been eliminated because you just get another 3-pointer now.
Well, it's because they want to lie about their height, so they don't have to be considered.
Well, that's Davis, but
that's all of them.
no,
Oh, bro, come on. You don't think they all do it? Yes.
I'm just talking
It's
about.
not just Anthony Davis.
I'm talking about the actual like power for like your Larry Johnson.
Yeah, grandmama.
Like I want your power forward was your enforcer.
Yeah, and they did.
That went away. Now you got 2 small forwards that can shoot 3. The
Yeah.
power forward position just went bye.
Yeah, I mean, it works though. But if you had legit power forwards, they would
Mm-hmm.
they would be shutting shit down.
So I gotta figure out the name of it, but I'll get you to watch it. It is. They talk about Rasheed Wallace a lot, and I don't think people really realize how good this man was.
Mhm.
There's a thing about it how the initial thing when he went to the Portland was they were going to build a team around him, and then the coach was like, "He's not that guy," and then kind of went a different route with it. But if you look like the numbers and stuff, Rasheed could have averaged 30 points a night
Absolutely.
if they would have built around him.
Rasheed was a baller. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
Ben Wallace was too.
Ben Wallace was underrated,
Yeah, very.
undrafted.
Very.
He just defensively he was a monster.
Yeah.
Offensively, it was like,
Mhm.
he averaged like 2.1 points a game.
Phenomenal.
But
If only we could see that. AI could create it.
Oh, AI, you can do so much now. I just wish they would do more, like, take somebody like the best of the 80s, the best of the 90s, the best of the 2000s, and do like an AI freaking tournament with them and see,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and actually like show it. Like, that'd be awesome.
I agree. That would be cool shit. They could make that a movie.
You wouldn't have these 40-point game people with freaking 40 points and stuff, because
I bet you would.
I think everybody fell out from the 80s and
Yeah, the
80s and 90s.
probably. The big guys are definitely, and you're going to get 40 points because it's a fast paced game these days.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to keep up, but if they get to slow down, it's a different story. But
Well, we played.
there's going to be a lot of foul outs.
They play defense in the 80s and 90s. Like now,
There'll be a lot of
very
foul
few
outs.
people play defense.
Yeah, but they also slowed the game down to do so. These teams now just run. They just take it and go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You get a team like Golden State just takes off and runs, and the big men are in trouble if that happens.
You guys have any draft predictions?
No, there's so many different reports. Hard to tell.
Nate, who would you like Dallas to take with their first pick? The best offensive lineman, the best running back, the best wide receiver, the best defensive player.
Offensive lineman or receiver in the first round.
What about your team? What would you like them to do with their first pick?
Probably corner.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why they got rid of Jack Jones. It makes no sense to me.
I'm like flippy floppy on this because I would like another edge rusher. With having the number 2 pick, I don't think we can take a wide receiver or a running back. I just think it's running backs are a dime a dozen these days.
Where does Dallas pick?
18 or something.
Oh, way down there?
I think you're between 15 and
Maybe
17.
it's 14.
You guys are earlier. You what, the 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard any which way you guys are going?
No, I've heard pretty much everybody that you can think of they've talked about. So who knows?
Is there a position you don't want them to pick first round?
Quarterback.
Which,
12.
okay.
That's solid.
Now, would you rather do a different route and then try to get an offensive lineman in the second round and get more of a primary position?
We do lineman or wide receiver. I'm fine.
Do you have a particular wide receiver you would like to get?
Nope.
Does any of them?
I don't really know any of the wide receivers.
Probably be that McMillan.
From
I think he's the best one that was on the board.
him, and then Ibaka. I don't know how good he's going to be. Ibuka.
A Mecca. Yeah, I don't know.
This mock draft has us taking Tyler Booker from Alabama.
Is that the
Lineman.
left tackle? Or left?
Inside offensive lineman.
Yeah. I mean, you can never go wrong with linemen
You can. You really can.
if you're Cleveland.
Actually, we have gotten better linemen than a lot of people.
This one has you guys taking Shadur.
I knew.
It's probably what's going to happen.
I knew everybody didn't know what the hell he was doing
Let's be real. That's probably what's going to happen.
when Todd McShay every day has said we're taking a different person each day, and he's usually pretty freaking spot on. But I don't know which way I want to
They're
go.
probably taking Shador.
Which I just don't think. And I could be wrong. I just don't know if that's the right move. How tall is he?
Oh, I have no idea.
This one has you taking Abdul Carter.
And downside of that is I keep hearing his ankle injury popping back up now. Like, they're freaking starting to talk about that again.
I mean, they still got a lot of time to get that right.
Well, they're saying he needs surgery. He doesn't need surgery yet.
He is 6'1".
Is he 6'1"? That's
That's why I like that Milton dude we got.
Oh, yeah.
6'5", 240.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, no, he'll be gone by then.
Who?
The Cowboys will do well with Hunter. He'll be gone by then.
I keep hearing that Dallas may try to trade up to get Hunter. I heard if we don't take him at 2, Dallas is going to try to trade up either with you guys or because the Giants need a quarterback.
You guys are taking shit to work.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, he may be good. Who knows?
Oh, wow, remember, within the next couple weeks, we'll be moving back to Wednesdays now that bowling's over.
That is a public service announcement.
Hump day.
We will be going back to Wednesday.
Hopefully by then we'll have some cool changes for you guys. Brad won't wear pants.
Yeah, I will stop wearing pants because it'll be warm enough to wear shorts.
He doesn't have pants on right now.
Maybe I'll wear just jean shorts every week.
Like the
Jorts.
cutoffs.
Maybe some cutoffs or just regular old stretchy jean shorts.
Would you wear a Speedo live?
No.
Nobody wants to do that.
No. I think that's how you get canceled. One shift and that's out. Yeah, it's a good thing. I look at the screen a lot. And I'm like, oh shit, hold on, one moment, please. Beep.
Freaking Nate be looking over like, ball return. Ball return.
Oh, man, that was a nice comment. That was really ballsy of you.
I see what you did there.
Oh.
What, if you guys are into
Whoa.
the zombie movies, the zombie shows, The Last of Us airs tonight, 2nd season. Have you tried that yet?
No.
It's really good.
No, I'm probably gonna start watching older shows again because I've watched so many one season shit that I'm like I'm not gonna remember half the shit. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, don't waste your time. The show was great, but don't waste your time watching Teacup on Peacock.
Yeah, they canceled it.
No.
And he said it was really good.
So good.
Good to know. I won't watch it then if it's been canceled.
Good show, but I didn't know it got canceled until after I finished season 2. I went to see season 2 was going to come out.
Hell.
The Last of Us, if you're not really in the zombie thing, it is really good. It's based off video game, but it's probably the most realistic.
Allegedly.
To an extent.
It's the most realistic zombie thing that could actually happen in real life.
Allegedly.
The closest thing.
To an extent.
Yes. Not everything in there, but because it's based off a fungus that actually happens like the ants and other
There's a
insects.
fungus among us.
That happens like other insects, and like the one that affects the most is like ants, to where basically they're just going about their day, but they're being controlled by this fungus.
Basically, the fungus has to go through like extreme global warming, kind of, where the fungus then adapts living in above 98.6 degree weather.
And it's eating
So then
yourself in the inside.
Consume humans. Or not consume, but take over.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually a really good show. Pedro Pascal's in it. The chick, our actress, kind of gets on my nerves, but she does a good job. What else is coming out? We got Twisted Metal's going to be coming out next couple months. Twisted Metal 2 season. Andor. I haven't watched the first one of that yet. I need to. Did you ever get into Star Wars? Never.
Nope.
Have you watched them?
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of them because my sister watches them,
Yeah.
but I've never sat down and watched them.
I actually got my wife to sit down and watch them when I was working nights,
Watch this, you will.
and she actually enjoyed them.
And
I will
she
say,
did.
my favorite Star Wars movie, I'm probably going to get shit on for this, but Rogue One was phenomenal.
I don't know. Let's get a bunch of Star Wars nerds together and hear you fight about that.
Nate's kind of a Star Wars nerd.
Because I don't know.
What'd you
I don't
rank-
know enough to talk about that, but I know they are very passionate about those.
What do you
things.
rank Rogue One?
So let's
Nate?
do that. Any Star Wars people that want to come on and debate with Nate and Matt, I would love to watch.
Nate knows way more than I do. Like I will.
Because I don't know enough to debate about it, but I know they love to do so. I read a
I
lot
will
of stuff.
put
I'm
Nate-
like, wow, they're ruthless.
I will put Nate up against most people with Star Wars unless this is legit, like nerd that booed when they reissued the Star Wars and said Jabba the Hutt's not real. That's the only person I wouldn't put him against because they probably know like every frame of every movie.
Third one was good.
I really liked it. It was something
The
different.
best one?
Not my favorite.
What's the best one? And your favorite, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Old school one.
The original, not the remastered. Fake. Jabba's not real.
You know what one of the best movies is though? Fanboys.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen that either.
They're Star Wars nerds,
Okay.
and it has like Trekkies and Star Wars nerds going at each other. It's hilarious.
Oh, really?
I feel like
I don't know. You showed me a preview from the coolest, dumbest movie I've ever thought was imaginable. Llamas from Outer Space.
basically, like one of their buddies is like, I think he's dying of cancer, and they're trying to get to George Lucas's mansion because I forget which one's coming out, but they're trying to get it so he can see Star Wars before he dies.
And that's the whole like plot of the movie.
I can see how that could be interesting or funny.
All right. Since we're talking about movies, what is your one movie you can watch a million times? Doesn't matter how many times you watch it.
Step Brothers.
Nate? One of within the last 5 years would be Ready Player One.
You didn't say within the last 5 years.
No, I'm saying like that was one that I can watch every night if I want to. In the past like 10 years,
I could watch Step Brothers over and over. And
any of the
over.
Avengers movies I can sit there and watch over and over again.
American Gangster,
Great.
Shawshank Redemption,
That's one of my top
and they
five.
do frying.
Shawshank Redemption and Tombstone's in my top five all time.
And they do frying.
I like to say the sisters didn't get Andy. I like to say he got away, but sometimes he was able to fight them off. You have like any movie you can watch like anytime? It doesn't matter how many times you see it.
One's movies I could watch over the most be Independence Day.
Good movie. Did you guys ever watch the second one? Because I never did. Was that worth the watch?
I feel like I did, but I don't remember. I feel like I did, but I don't remember it.
Will Smith's not in it, so that's
Well, he did a good job in the first one, but some of the things I hate about sequels when they wait too long to come out with the second one.
I'm pretty sure they killed the character.
Did they?
I think.
I don't recall. I'm pretty sure I watched it though.
Did you?
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. But Step Brothers, like if it would come on TBS and I saw it, I would stop, watch it for 10 minutes.
And then realize that everything's edited.
Yep, turn it off and go put the DVD in and watch it.
Does anybody have cable anymore? Honestly, do they? My parents do, but anybody under 55 have cable anymore?
I mean, it depends on what you consider cable. Like, I have friends that have YouTube TV and shit like that, which is technically cable.
True, I do, but I don't watch it unless I'm watching some sports.
I was gonna get something like that, but then I'm the same. It's the same thing as cable. You're gonna watch the same 4 channels
Yep.
and watch the same 4 things.
The only reason we have YouTube TV because her work pays for it. That's
like
the only reason.
to watch, like we have an LG TV and it's got LG channels.
Uh-huh.
Like there was a whole channel of Ink Master. I
Really?
was like, I'll turn it on and watch the reruns of Ink Master. But for the most part, no. I just rewatch shit on
All right.
Netflix.
This is one thing, since you brought up Ink Master. Do you like reality TV? Like that kind of, like with Ink Master or Top Chef or anything like that? And how real is it versus freaking scripted?
Funny you should ask, Alex. I do like shows like that. I like Ink Master. Well, obviously, I'm a fan of tattoos.
Right.
But I've read, yeah, if you didn't know. And I've read about it. And a lot of it is not as it seems. Like, have you ever watched it?
Yes.
Either one of you? So, they go 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They film all that in one go. The judges are not there that much. And a tattoo never goes unfinished.
So they
They will
give
do
more
it.
time than what they
Yep.
say.
They may do it and let them go through the judging, but they get to
Finish
go through and finish the tattoo. They don't make these people literally legit leave
with a half-ass
with a
tattoo.
half-ass tattoo. They get to finish it.
We haven't done it yet, but I want to sit down one day and watch that extraction show. All three of us. I haven't watched a bit of it other than
I don't know what it is.
we freaking talked about it. You didn't understand it until Nate yelled at you. It's you're on an island.
Oh, where the family vote you. Yeah.
No, the only people that can get you off the island is your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't understand it
I did after it was explained.
after freaking Nate yelled at you.
Well, no, it still took a little longer than that.
No, I think when Nate actually yelled at you is when you was like, "Oh, okay." So my mom's not with me.
See, that's what I thought. Like your family was with you.
No, they're in a room watching you live.
Kind of like Survivor with your family. Like
Yes.
They kicked you out of your clan and now you're
Yes.
gone.
But it's up to your mom or your sister to say, Brad needs to come home. Or fuck him, he can ride out there. So you'd have to go.
So it's whoever stays the longest.
Hmm?
Yeah, I would just keep looking at the cameras like, I got this.
But I feel
I
like
got this.
you would have to have a safe word to say on camera because you might have like a bad moment to where you're like, God.
It'd have to be a wonky word that I would probably forget because if it was a normal word, I'd just be saying it all the time. And they'd be like, does he mean it this time? He's laughing. Like, I don't think he means it. Like,
Because like the
"Do
only thing I
Sometimes."
think, because you're gonna have a moment to where you're like, get me the fuck off this thing. And if you don't have that, you're gonna be like, get him out, get him out, get him out.
I'll just keep saying, I got this.
You'd be like, Brad, your next competition is you have to kiss 4 men. Banana, 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 banana.
Depends on what's the payout.
I think it's like $1 million.
I feel like I don't think that's the competition. They can't air that on TV.
Yeah, they can.
What competition show have you seen where 4 men are kissing?
What
All right, we'll see you next week.
if they do Bachelor on
Forrest
Bachelor?
Hump,
Bachelor on Bachelor.
Bachelor on Bachelor,
Yeah, like the Bachelorette, but it's the Bachelor, and
the Bachelor on Bachelor.
they show dudes kissing on TV all the time.
That you watch.
You can't tell me you haven't
How
watched
many
this show.
shows you've been watching where dudes are kissing dudes? Yeah, exactly.
The Last of Us.
I didn't see dudes kissing dudes when I was watching wrestling and/or The Ranch earlier today.
Well, the ranch. That was under some hot water with Danny.
That's beside the point. That was Danny, not Rooster.
I mean, shit happens. People can kiss people. That's not rated R. That's not rated R. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So next week,
Yeah, let's just stop this.
we'll be on Sunday. And then
Yeah.
basically when we're done, Brad's going to go home, go sleep, and then he's off to Vegas.
Yeah, we're gonna hunt some Easter eggs.
Did you black out?
Hunt some
mid-sentence?
Easter eggs. Do the podcast. Leave on Monday, and then
I won't see you again. You'll be back what? Thursday?
Friday afternoon.
Friday?
I think we land again at like 3 or 4 Friday.
Heck yeah. Well, everyone that's here, thanks for tuning in.
Yep, same bad time.
Same bad channel.
For now, until we go to Wednesdays. Don't
Make
forget.
sure you like, subscribe, follow the leader.
Yeah.